How's it guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through a quick update of the team. So going into the game week 3 deadline, we decided to hit a wild card a few days before after hearing the Palmer news that he would be out. We didn't like our team at all, and I didn't think taking Palmer out for one player would fix that. We already used a transfer early in the week to bring in João Pedro, so it would have been a hit to fix the Palmer problem, and I just didn't like the team surrounding that issue either. It was a bit of a risk because we didn't know the transfer window was still open. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but we took that risk. One of the things that we estimated was Isaac would sign for Liverpool, so we didn't touch Ekatike or Gakpo, and that proved to be right. Other than that, there were no big transfers that did impact this team. So going straight into the team selection, in goal, we decided to stick with Sanchez. We even doubled up with Cucurella. I do back up, not specifically the Chelsea defense, but the Chelsea team in general. I think they will dominate majority of games. They've got a very good attack, and also their midfield with Caicedo and Endo. Enzo. I think they'll keep a lot of clean sheets just because of that. Other than that, you could call it quite a boring defense, but I see it as quite solid. You've got Van Ven from Spurs and Livramento from Newcastle. I think they both very good defenses. Newcastle, their midfield is just insane, and the Liverpool game actually made me decide on Livramento. He's only 5 mil, and I see Newcastle keeping a lot of clean sheets, dominating a lot of games. It's very difficult to attack against them. And then Van Ven, same thing. I didn't like what I saw against Bournemouth, but prior to that, clean sheet against City, clean sheet in their first game as well. They're looking good. Got a great manager as well, very system based, very structured. I do see a lot of clean sheets, and he is the type of guy that will sneak attacking return here and there. So, but that being said, they're not the most exciting. They basically just rely on clean sheets, not attacking returns, no defcon from those two. And on the bench, we don't have much. We have Ronaldo and Goodmanson. I think yes, sure, we have 4.0s that are very good. So I think it's good to take advantage of them and use it to free up some cash. That's one issue with this side, that going from game week 3 to game week 4, that I kind of saw as an issue that might come into play with this team that I've wildcarded into, is that the defense lacks a bit of DEFCON. None of these players are particularly good in DEFCON. Cucurella, he's been quite close every game to getting DEFCON, so he may be an exception, and I really do like his attacking threat and bonus points as well. He was close. He was close to getting bonus points in that Chelsea game, um, as well. So Chelsea get a 1-0, or if he gets any attacking returns, he's very likely to go on bonus. But the other two, not a lot of DEFCON. So Van Ven could have been a Senesi. That's a big possibility. And Livramento could have easily been Lacroix. So we just don't know what DEFCONs are going to be, because there are some players that sure they've been DEFCONing every single game, but that's not sustainable. Everyone's, I think, hyping it up a bit too much. Because we saw last year, even the guys who were getting it the most, they were only DEFCONing in every second game. So clean sheets are still more valuable, but that's something that I think might have been a mistake on this wild card. Going into the midfield, this was a bit of a issue. Um, so Reinders and Salah kind of picked themselves very good guys to have, very safe. And I think if you're wildcarding this early, I think it's good to have Salah in there. There's not a lot, none of the other premiums are options. Palmer isn't an option, Saka isn't an option, so you might as well go for Salah. And when those guys come back, it's an easy route to him. Maybe you sacrifice Salah if he's still not looking great. We don't know what he's going to look like next to Isaac. And in my mind, Isaac's going to be the better option when he does play. I think already most of the attack is going through the middle. So I think Salah, he won't be well, not the go-to guy. He won't be the source of attacking returns like he has been in the past. That Liverpool side will be a lot more structured. I would say even going through the middle, not really balanced. I think a lot of it will be going through the middle. Isaac will be the guy to bring in. Saw and Johnson, you can say that this was unlucky and bad decisions at the same time. So I'm not. I was always going to go with him. I think he's definitely the best middle to low price midfielder there is. I'm not upset that I went for that call because it was definitely the right one. He got a goal before his injury. It didn't look like a serious injury. So I even said that he would be fine for the next game, but scans came back and it looks a bit more serious. That could just be to keep him out of the international break. We don't know. But yeah, it's a bit unlucky, especially with these next few fixtures coming up for him, even the more difficult ones. This guy can be a perma player because he's good in those more difficult fixtures. He'll score a goal against your Liverpools, and on those breaks, he actually thrives, counter attacking football. So, yeah, Johnson, it was a bit of a risk, but it was one of those picks that I really had a good feeling about. I thought he was going to do really good. I don't want to go with Kudus. I didn't think he has much attacking threat besides assist. Um, so I wanted to go with Johnson. I think he's a goal scorer. I think he could be lethal on that left. The only issue is his play around goal scoring isn't that good, and Thomas Frank clearly that's how he sees it. So if they're struggling, he's the guy to miss out. I don't think they have a lot of wingers as options. They could maybe do a formation change, but Simmons coming in, and I forgot the name, I think Luani or something, as their number nine. So they've got a new striker, and Simmons, he can play on the left. Both of those guys can play on the left, but it's at number 10 and a striker. So I do think Johnson will keep his attacking spots up there. I wouldn't buy him, but I'm not too worried about it right now, having him. I think it could still pay off. And then King, we're very happy that we have King on the bench, and we'll go into that a bit more now. It kind of saved us a bit. We were considering even putting in Rio there because he is only 4.5. Liverpool, he could start to see more minutes off the bench. So you could easily see some goals from him. But we decided to go with King. He's playing Cam, starting for Fulham. Is a possibility of Livramento coming in at some, not Livramento, Smith Rowe coming in at some point. But King has just been looking so good. He had a goal ruled out controversially against Chelsea, but he was looking really good, and he has Leeds coming up. In our front line, it's a very, very, very good front line. We've got Erling Haaland, João Pedro, and Chris Wood. Chris Wood, some people might not think he's that exciting right now, but after this Arsenal fixture, he's got the two best fixtures in the league, Sunderland and Burnley. So we're definitely happy with him, and we're definitely going to leave him in until the end of those good fixtures, and then maybe look to take him out. And we have specific transfer routes to get him even up to Isaac. Something I see as a possibility in the next few weeks, in about 5 game weeks time, what I kind of have roughly in my head is Salah down to someone, Palmer, when Chelsea have those amazing fixtures, and Wood up to Isaac. A issue with that is we currently have 3 Chelsea players in the team, so we would have to sacrifice one of them, but that's a decision for later down the road. For this game week, like I said, we're very lucky that we have King in the team because it allows us to play him next week and just bench Saw instead of transferring him out. Because I don't know who I want to bring in for Saw. No one's really sticking up their hand. No one's looking great. There's a lot of potential people, but we don't know what the best, smartest decision is, who the best option. So the fact that we can bench him, play King, who has a great fixture against Leeds and is looking really good. I watched that game against Chelsea, and he really is looking good. And the Fulham staff, fans, everyone hypes him a lot, and you can see why. So I'm glad I have him. And it gives us an extra week to assess what's happening. There's someone like Simmons who could be an option from Spurs. There's Grealish and them, how do they play in the tougher fixtures? There's also someone like Harvey Elliott who could be starting at Cam for Villa. If he starts for Villa and he's looking good, he could be a steal at 5.5. So I think the right play to do, especially because we wildcarded so early, we don't want to spend unnecessary transfers. So when we make this transfer of taking Salah out, we need to make sure we're putting him to the correct player, the right player. And if the injury isn't that bad, we could just leave him there until he recovers. We would actually put him on the field for this next game. We'd probably bench Wood, make him our first sub, start Salah just in case the injury wasn't as serious as it was being made out to be. Maybe they just didn't want him going on international break. Who knows? But yeah, if he is injured, he won't get any minutes. So it would be safe putting him on the field, starting him. If he doesn't play, Chris Wood comes on off the bench for Arsenal. So yeah, that's how our team is lining up. That's how it's looking. I think it's a very solid team, very structured. There's a lot of things that could happen, and it leaves us open. Palmer can easily come in for Salah. That can open up Wood to Isaac. The defense, the good thing about the defense is you can just leave it forever. Livramento, Cucurella, both Chelsea and Newcastle have great fixtures for the long term, like up until game week 20 or something like that. Van Ven, they're even good against the tougher teams with their system. So this defense, it allows us to save transfers, which is really nice. And we can save up those transfers to do a lot of exciting things in the attack when things do open up, like bringing in Palmer for their great fixtures in game week 9 and bringing in Isaac when he does start to be the main guy, which I see him becoming. So yeah, guys, thanks for scoping the video. Please like it if you enjoy, and I'll scope you later in the week for our expected stats video, which should be coming out in the next few days.